Most people think success is built on talent. Others think it is luck. But history and psychology suggest something quieter. Success is built on habits. Invisible habits. Repeated daily. Refined over time. Tonight, we uncover 7 life skills that determine who rises and who remains average. No matter how many candles sit on your cake this year, growth is not optional. To improve at anything, you must try and try again. Each attempt refines you. As Maya Angelou once said, "I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better." Highly successful individuals never lose their thirst for knowledge. They never reach a ceiling, they build a new one. These 7 skills are not theories. They are patterns observed in high performers, leaders, and disciplined minds. Let's begin. Number 1. Acknowledging your mistakes. Every great leader has failed. Not once. Many times. Failure is not the exception in leadership, it is the training ground. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stagnant is not talent, luck, or even intelligence. It is ownership. What separates the exceptional from the average is not perfection, it is transparency. The willingness to look at your own missteps without flinching. The courage to say, "I was wrong." Legendary coach John Wooden said, "If you're not making mistakes, then you're not doing anything." This is not permission to be careless. It is a reminder that action carries risk, and risk produces growth. Wooden understood that mistakes are proof of movement. They signal that you are attempting something beyond your comfort zone. Mistakes create awareness. Awareness creates strategy. When you fail, you receive feedback. That feedback reveals blind spots. Blind spots, once exposed, become areas of refinement. Without mistakes, there is no data. Without data, there is no evolution. Modern research on perseverance, especially studies on grit and sustained effort, consistently shows that long-term achievement is built through repeated setbacks. Growth is rarely glamorous. It is iterative. It is uncomfortable. It is earned through correction. But here is the deeper psychological truth. When you admit your mistakes, you extract their value. When you deny them, you repeat them. Denial protects your ego in the short term. Ownership strengthens your future in the long term. Leaders who hide their errors create cultures of fear. Leaders who own their errors create cultures of trust. Acknowledging your mistake does 3 powerful things. It disarms criticism. It accelerates learning. It builds credibility. People trust those who are real. Transparency signals strength because it shows you are secure enough to confront reality. Owning your errors is not weakness. It is leverage. It gives you control over the narrative. It turns failure into fuel. It converts embarrassment into experience. Perfection isolates. Accountability elevates. The moment you stop defending your mistakes is the moment you start mastering them. Number 2. Asking yourself why you want to do better. Discipline without purpose collapses. You can push yourself for a few days on willpower alone, maybe even a few weeks. But when the resistance increases, when progress slows, when doubt creeps in, when nobody is clapping, raw discipline begins to crack. That is where your why becomes your anchor. When situations become difficult, and they will, only a strong internal reason keeps you steady. Motivation fades. External validation disappears. Convenience vanishes. Purpose remains. Olympic legend Jesse Owens said, "In order to make dreams come into reality, it takes determination, dedication, self-discipline, and effort." Notice what comes first: determination. Determination is not born from pressure. It is born from conviction. Owens competed in the 1936 Olympics under extraordinary social and political tension. His discipline was not casual. It was fueled by meaning. When your purpose is deep enough, obstacles stop feeling personal. They become part of the path. Self-discipline functions like a muscle. Each time you resist distraction, you strengthen it. Each time you choose long-term gain over short-term comfort, you expand your capacity. But muscles need direction. Without direction, strength is wasted. That is why asking yourself why you want to improve is not optional. It is foundational. Write down your reasons. Create reminders. Revisit your purpose daily. These are not motivational tricks. They are mental reinforcement systems. Psychologically, repetition wires intention into identity. When you repeatedly remind yourself of your purpose, you shift from trying to be disciplined to being someone who acts with discipline. Identity drives behavior more reliably than emotion ever will. Without clarity of purpose, pressure breaks you. With clarity of purpose, pressure sharpens you. The same weight that crushes one person strengthens another. The difference is meaning. When your why is weak, discomfort feels unbearable. When your why is strong, discomfort feels necessary. Ask yourself, why do I want to improve? Who benefits if I succeed? What happens if I stay the same? When the answer becomes emotionally real, not just intellectually interesting, discipline stops feeling like punishment. It becomes alignment. Purpose turns effort into direction. Direction turns discipline into power. This content is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not financial, medical, or professional advice. Individual results depend on consistent effort, context, and responsible decision-making. Number 3. Optimizing the use of your energy. The modern world feeds on distraction. Notifications, endless scrolling, constant comparison. Platforms like Facebook have been widely discussed in economic and workplace studies for their impact on productivity loss caused by digital distraction. But the platform itself is not the enemy. The real issue is unmanaged attention. And the deeper truth? The problem is not time. It is energy. Everyone has 24 hours. Not everyone has 24 hours of usable cognitive energy. Energy fluctuates. It peaks. It dips. It drains under constant interruption. When you divide your attention repeatedly, you don't just lose minutes, you lose depth. Every distraction forces your brain to restart, and that restart consumes mental fuel. Research in productivity psychology consistently shows that focused work intervals followed by structured breaks improve cognitive performance and reduce burnout. Working smart often outperforms working longer. One widely referenced productivity rhythm suggests 52 minutes of focused effort, 17 minutes of intentional rest. Not random scrolling, not passive distraction, intentional recovery. Why does this work? Because focus is intense. Sustained attention consumes glucose and neural resources. Breaks are not laziness, they are neurological resets. Without them, your output declines while your exhaustion rises. Success is not built by exhaustion. It is built by precision. Long hours without strategy create diminishing returns. Focused energy applied to high-impact tasks creates exponential results. Optimizing your energy means doing deep work during your peak mental hours, eliminating unnecessary digital noise, scheduling recovery before burnout forces it, protecting your mornings and evenings from chaos. Guard your attention. It is your most valuable resource. Time can be managed. Energy must be protected. When you master your energy, you multiply your impact. Number 4. Thinking of your time as money. Time is a currency that never refunds. Once spent, it cannot be reclaimed. No interest, no bonuses, no reset button. Unlike money, there is no credit or recovery. Every moment that slips away is gone forever. If unmanaged, your time will be consumed by other people's priorities, endless meetings, trivial requests, or distractions masquerading as urgent tasks. Without deliberate control, you become a servant to everyone else's agenda. Effective professionals understand this truth intuitively. They do not try to do everything alone. They delegate. They collaborate. They ask for help when necessary. They recognize that their time is a finite asset and treat it accordingly. Entrepreneur Richard Branson attributes much of his success to structured mornings and intentional scheduling. Every hour has a purpose. Every task is either an investment or a drain. You do not need to say no to everyone, but you must decide where your hours go. When you treat time like money, you begin to invest it wisely rather than spending it impulsively. Think of it this way. Hours invested in learning, building, or creating compound value. Hours spent on mindless distractions or unaligned obligations are lost, sunk costs with no return. Time invested grows exponentially in the form of skill, influence, and results. Time squandered compounds only as regret. To master your productivity, track your hours like you track your finances. Prioritize tasks that offer long-term returns. Protect your most valuable time, mornings, deep work sessions, and creative hours. Delegate or decline what does not align with your goals. Treating time as money transforms decision-making. Every commitment becomes a transaction. Will this action pay dividends or cost me precious energy? Am I investing or merely spending? The wealthiest professionals are not those who earn the most. They are those who invest their time most strategically. Your schedule is your portfolio. Guard it like your life depends on it, because it does. Number 5. Planning and starting in advance. The early bird does not just wake early. It prepares early. Success rarely begins with the alarm clock. It begins the night before, in the small decisions that set the stage for action. Planning ahead reduces friction, clears mental clutter, and primes your brain for execution rather than reaction. Prioritizing urgent tasks before reactive or trivial ones creates momentum. When the first actions you take in the day push you forward on meaningful work, the rest of the day flows with purpose rather than chaos. One effective method is to separate tasks into categories. Critical, must be done today. Delegable, can someone else handle it? Delayable, can wait without consequence. This simple categorization creates clarity. It prevents overwhelm and stops you from spending precious energy on unimportant decisions. When you begin your day already organized, you are not reacting. You are executing. Preparation converts intention into action. It transforms vague goals into concrete steps. It turns ambition into routine. The mind that wakes to chaos is scattered. The mind that wakes to clarity is unstoppable. By investing a few minutes in advanced planning, you multiply your productivity, sharpen your focus, and reclaim the most valuable resource of all, your energy. The secret is simple. The earlier you prepare, the smoother your path. Action then becomes inevitable. Momentum favors the prepared. Those who plan first win first. Number 6. Eliminating negative thoughts. Negative thoughts are universal. Everyone experiences doubt, fear, and self-criticism. The mind generates them automatically. It is wired to anticipate risk, to protect you from failure, and to keep you cautious. But indulging them is optional. The difference between people who stagnate and people who succeed is not the absence of negative thoughts. It is how they respond to them. When doubt appears, question the thought, not yourself. What evidence supports this fear or worry? What evidence contradicts it? This simple practice transforms your inner critic from a tyrant into a guide. It shifts perspective from automatic defeat to informed decision-making. Keeping short-term goals visible reinforces progress. They are milestones that prove to your mind that success is possible. Long-term vision provides direction, but short-term wins sustain motivation and energy. Internal dialogue shapes external behavior. Your thoughts influence decisions, interactions, and the habits that accumulate into results. When your mind runs on fear and doubt, your actions follow suit. When your mind runs on clarity and evidence, your actions are confident and aligned. Control the narrative in your mind, or it will control your results. By actively choosing which thoughts to entertain and which to challenge, you reclaim agency. Negativity becomes a signal to examine, not a sentence to obey. Your internal world creates your external world. Master your thoughts, and you master your outcomes. Number 7. Networking all day, every day. Success rarely happens in isolation. Even the most talented individuals need connections to amplify their impact. Opportunities don't appear out of nowhere. They travel through people, conversations, and relationships. But networking is not about collecting contacts. It is not a numbers game or a social media checklist. Real networking is about building trust. Authenticity multiplies influence far more than aggressive self-promotion. People respond to sincerity, consistency, and generosity. Showing genuine interest in others creates bonds that transactional interactions never can. Practical ways to cultivate relational capital. Stay connected with your existing circle. Regular check-ins, shared wins, and genuine curiosity. Expand through introductions. Facilitate connections between people who can benefit each other. You grow influence by creating value for your network. Provide value before requesting it. Give insights, support, or resources without expecting immediate returns. This approach builds relational capital, a form of wealth measured in trust, respect, and mutual support. And here's the compounding effect. The more relational capital you invest, the more opportunities return to you over time. One connection can open doors to 10 more. One favor can create a chain of reciprocation that multiplies impact. Networking is not a task to check off your list. It is a daily mindset. Every conversation, every interaction, every small gesture of genuine connection contributes to a growing web of influence. Invest in people consistently, and your network becomes an engine of exponential opportunity. Closing reflection. At 82 years old, Masako Wakamiya learned to code and developed a mobile game designed for seniors. Age did not stop her. Excuses would have. When you work on something, you get the feeling that you've achieved something, she said. Her story is a testament to a universal truth. Success is not reserved for the young, the naturally talented, or the lucky. It is earned by those who cultivate consistent, purposeful habits, day after day, decision after decision. If you have stayed until this moment, understand this. Success is not a single breakthrough. It is a collection of disciplined habits. Acknowledging mistakes, owning errors, and leveraging them for growth. Clarifying your why, anchoring discipline and purpose. Managing energy, focusing deeply and resting intentionally. Valuing time, treating every hour as an investment. Planning ahead, preparing in advance to convert intention into action. Controlling thoughts, mastering your inner dialogue to shape results. Building relationships, cultivating relational capital through trust and authenticity. 7 skills. Quiet, powerful, transformational. These are not flashy strategies. They are subtle, daily practices that compound over time, creating influence, skill, and results far beyond what effort alone can achieve. The only question left is, will you practice them? Your next step is not inspiration. It is action. The habits you choose today define the legacy you build tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Guiding Veil Echoes reveals the deeper forces behind history, power, and human behavior. Subscribe to understand the world beyond the surface.